I think about 3 years. I think they were not detailed enough with their feedback, and I felt like I was not receiving the support I needed to perfect a piece and work on the details. So that's why we looked for Stephanie. I'd say one of the more effective things that she does is picking on really the smallest details, which is effective for perfecting a piece for performance. But at the same time, I think what's equally valuable is how she helps you construct imagery with musical imagery to help you imagine each scene, which is very helpful for coming up with your own interpretation and playing with more emotions. She'll tell you to imagine a scene with a piece, which is helpful. Yeah, of course. Well, before coming to here, I was really very much a beginner. So there's obviously been very, very big progress with Stephanie. So I'm very grateful for that. And yeah, in terms of technical ability, it's no doubt that I've improved a lot just by playing pieces. But also at the same time, I think my overall musicianship have improved based on my exposure to different cultures like tango music, classical music, romantic music, jazz, contemporary music, Chinese classical music. So all of the different genres that Stephanie exposed me to has helped me gotten to know music better as a whole. Yeah, our lessons are very flexible compared to the lessons I had with other teachers. These lessons are a lot more flexible. For example, if I have to work on a performance for school, like she'd be able to help me with coming up with an accompaniment pattern on the piano, or if I had to do composition, she'd also be able to give me some pointers on what I could change based on her experience as a musician. And of course, most importantly, when we're practicing performance, she is also very insightful in terms of her feedback. Right. For technical skills, she emphasizes, she tells me to focus on practicing slowly, and she would demonstrate herself very slowly, and she would tell me to keep practicing until I get it done. Right. For an exam, we would start by choosing the pieces, which I find very nice that she allows me to have my own opinion in what piece I want to play, which is helpful because if I don't like the piece, then I wouldn't want to play it. So she considers both my opinion and the more technical side of things, like what I am better at playing and what I'm not. And in terms of actual practice, we progress at quite a fast pace because of her methods. It's very effective, helping me find the notes and then helping me perfect each detail. Well, she is very effective and very flexible in terms of her schedule. Because of high school, I have a lot of other appointments, and some of them are really sudden. And it's very helpful that Stephanie is able to schedule last minute sometimes. And if I, for example, the lesson today I scheduled just 2 days ago, but she was able to adjust to that and give me this time. With all the preparation she did for me before tackling the diploma piece, in between grade 8 and the diploma, she's prepared me to tackle the piece with comfort, and I found it just as similar to the grade 8 piece because of all the preparing we did with exposure to different genres and different techniques and honing my ability to express my emotions on the piano. So I think with Stephanie's help, music has become a bigger part in my life and in my college profile. So For example, she helped me choose competitions to enter and performances to play at, and of course get my grade 8 done and currently working on the diploma. So all of those things has made me more interested in music, and I think that's definitely something that colleges look for, like your side of you outside of academics. Yeah, this is definitely a huge plus in my learning experience because compared to other teachers who are maybe more focused on teaching instead of performing themselves, they don't have the ability to tell you to perfect a piece. And with Stephanie's help, I am also able to get a piece to that performance level because she's experienced it herself. Yeah, for sure. Of course, I would. I think she's a great teacher all the way from start to end. She's like she's good for all different sorts of levels. From when I started as a beginner, playing like introductory pieces to now getting my diploma and playing for competitions and performances. Throughout the way, she's been very flexible in terms of her teaching style, from providing me with interest in piano to like making me want to practice myself and learn new pieces to helping me find the finest details using her experience as a concert pianist. I am not sure because it's a long time ago, but I believe that lessons with Stephanie have the cost is slightly higher, but I think it's worth it because of all the different benefits I mentioned earlier, like helping me find the finest details, which would be very useful for performance, competition, submitting to high school for assignments, and yeah, all sorts of things. Also, maybe of course, like she's very passionate about music, and that passion comes across to me and makes me more interested in music myself, and it's become a big hobby now. Yeah, I think practicing piano, persevering, and handling the pressure of preparing for a competition or performance in a short amount of time has exposed me to high levels of pressure. And that's a transferable skill because in other areas of life, you deal with the same pressure. It's a different area, but the pressure feels the same. So with piano practice with Stephanie, I feel like in other areas of my life, I'd be able to handle things better under pressure. I think it's definitely the amount of freedom I get with playing my pieces compared to what I've heard. Like, there's a lot of misinformation going around about when you're learning classical piano, a lot of it is coming from your teacher and you don't get much choice yourself. But for lessons with Stephanie, I think all the way from picking the piece to choosing the details and designing your interpretation, a lot of it is done by myself with her guidance. So it feels like my own performance and it feels like I've really gotten to know the music better. Well, starting from school, I've been at the top of my music class for a couple years now, also maybe 3, 4 years. And in terms of performance at school, my teacher has always been very impressed. Outside of school, for competitions, one competition I got first place in among many is the International Youth Music Competition. And Stephanie's choice of that competition was great because after winning first prize, I was also invited to play at the prize winners concert at the Hong Kong Space Museum, which was a very valuable opportunity for me. And of course, other ones include like getting distinction in grade 8, distinction in grade 5, distinction in music theory, winning the Hong Kong Schools Music and Speech Festival, first prize on that, and well, also my first ever competition, I won second place, which was very surprising, but with Stephanie's help, it was possible. And yeah, it's a great pleasure working with her.
If you liked this video, like, subscribe, and hit the bell for the chord so we can continue making more lessons for you from StephaniePiano.com.